Welcome to this Assassin's Creed Shadows deep dive. I have over 100 hours on the game. Everything I have to say is basically confirmed by me directly, and of course, things from the developers and articles that they posted about the game. So today we're going to jump into a lot of different details. If you're playing the game or you're about to play it or you want to know if you want to play it, this video should probably cover most of that and get you to be informed about your decision with the game. This is not a review, and it is mostly just confirmation on things you should be expecting with this game. All right. So first of all, it is an Assassin's Creed game. You're going to get an open world. This is a huge open world. It's not the biggest in the series, but it's one of the biggest. And it is still decently small enough where it's not over dramatic. And to complete the story, you can run through just the main missions and it'll be 30 plus hours, maybe a little more. If you're like me, you reach the 100 plus hours before you finish the story because you avoid it and you end up joining in on all the side quests and things like that. A lot of the stuff of what the developers talked about and things that I can confirm on my own is that they discuss the side missions and how you can recruit some allies and things like that. What I love about the game is that you're able to go on a main mission, meet somebody from a side quest, and then end up going to your objective board and picking them to play with. Okay, so this is super fun and very cool in my opinion because it just made it more organic. You know, you meet a lot of friends through friends and you end up making more friends, you know, and that's kind of how it goes. Or just work wise, while you're working, you meet somebody that becomes a best friend and that you can, you know, count on and rely on. So that to me is a great feature, and somebody like me who just gets lost in the world, in the open world, and doesn't rush through the games can appreciate that because they did immerse me in that experience. And I do believe that when you play, if you take your time and you run around, you'll see how everything is connected in its own way, whether it's your hometown and what's going on there, or the various other towns and districts that basically will have the same type of setup where you can go and do a bunch of side missions and so on. So for me, this is one of the fun features, and I think that you're going to enjoy that. We're watching a lot of gameplay that they've presented. I can't put up my gameplay, but we're going to discuss a couple of different things in the game, and that's one of the big ones. And to talk about that, the objective board is kind of crazy. There's a lot on the objective board. It's funny enough, I'm over 100 hours, and I just opened up a brand new mission because I did not go to a specific area. There's a whole nother side quest of a bunch of bosses and targets that I gotta eliminate and get some rewards for as well. And I was just pretty much excited to say, oh, okay, so there's way more to the game and there's more rewards that I can get for myself, which I think is fun that they allow you to continue discovering things if you haven't explored the whole open world. And so take your time. You're going to see a lot of good stuff. And I want to talk about exploring because one of the biggest things that I actually really love is targeted loot. Targeted loot in this game is something I don't think they even mentioned once, but you can get hundreds of target loot, meaning you don't have to go and just RNG, hope that something good drops for you. There are things that drop that you take an enemy out and maybe you'll pick something cool up, or you open up a chest and there's something random. Totally gonna happen and it's gonna be worth it, right? But what I'm talking about is every target has a reward within there, whether it's for YASUKE or NAOE. It's you know, up to the game, but you're going to get specific things and it's going to tell you what exactly it is and who it's for. And so for me, that made the game more fun because there were times I was looking for a new weapon or new gear. And I said, hey, let me go look around and see who has something that I can find something new so I can make a build for my YouTube channel. AKA this is for you guys. And so I was super excited to just roam and find new targets, new things to do to unlock all these things. And so that's where the game can get exciting. So if you watch my channel, I usually don't put up videos about where to find a specific item. When I make my build videos, I kind of just let you guys get links. And sometimes if it's easy to find, I'll definitely tell you. But I might be making some of those. I'm kind of surprised on myself, but that's a very cool feature. I'm gonna have to replay the game and find every single target, every single item, and kind of note it so that you guys can have the full list on where to find everything. With that being said, there's tons of stuff in the actual map that you're going to be able to explore and find. And is an easy legend area where you actually can find quest givers and all the stuff that you might have passed by. It'll show up on the map and you're capable of basically targeted loot and doing all the objectives and all of that good stuff. If you're one of those, oh, let me platinum this or 100% this, that feature right there is going to save your life. And now we've been watching footage from the developers, by the way. This isn't my footage. This is Ubisoft's dual video where they showcase YASUKE going in, stealthing a little bit, and they showcase NAOE. And it's a cool video, right? But what I want to talk about is the gear and the way the system works. All right, so you have abilities and then you have gear. Those are your two main ways to create a playstyle and a build. And the truth is, man, there's some great combinations that I've already made, and I didn't think I'll be continuing making builds. I have over 20 builds already, and I feel like I just got started because I'm unlocking almost everything in the game. I'm almost at the point where I have everything for not just the gear, but the engravements. And this changes everything because when you get the engravements, you're able to combine two totally different play styles to make an overpowered build that's tons of fun and that makes me very excited to kind of get into it. Don't get it twisted. This doesn't have the full RPG upgrade the stats, upgrade your DPS or anything like that. The game doesn't feature that type of mechanic. You're going to be unlocking skills for weapons and abilities. You're going to be locking tools and things like that, which are mastery points. But in the actual gear, you only got 2 pieces of gear and 2 weapons for the most part on your builds. So it's not like you're going to go out there and make some crazy build in that way. But within it, the engravements, you're capable of putting a combination together. I have an infinite tools build, which should be out. That's one of my first videos that I want to drop, where you can stealth everything and consistently refill and never run out of your tools the whole game because of the way I set it up. And it is so much fun to play that way, and just lets me be a stealth player but not have to worry that I ran out of my tools, whether it's smoke bombs or kunai and all of that stuff. So this for me is complementary to the game, and the fact that I don't look at this as a true RPG game where you're making a build and putting up this stat and that stat. It's more, you know, action adventure game, and it still has the RPG elements to allow me to do this stuff. So we're gonna have fun on the channel, you know, every day. I'm looking like I'm going to be putting up videos for the first couple weeks of a build, and maybe 2 a day. That's how intense I feel about it, and having fun with that. I'm running out of resources and money making these builds, but I'm totally fine with that. But it's been a blast, and I'm almost maxed out on my character and all that. By the time I made this video, I'm gonna be most likely maxed out when you watch it, and then I'll have every piece of gear maxed, so I don't have to worry about upgrading it and all that good stuff. But man, I tell you not to worry, because that is a cool thing. And again, to talk about the mastery skills, I want to just say this. One thing that I've learned is two things. First of all, we talked about this on one of my other videos. You have your skill tree for each thing, whether it's a weapon or the specific class, right? That we thought was really cool. But when you maximize them, I'm getting 80, and we already showcased this because the devs showed it. I'm getting 80, literally 80% extra damage on my Tonto when I max out everything on the skill tree for the Tonto. Okay, so 80 more percent. That thing is hitting super hard. Okay, then on top of that, there's the secret skill tree that you're capable of unlocking, which is going to even make you more difficult to deal with. And that skill tree lets you buff up specific things like posture damage, headshot damage, whatever, tool damage. And I'm telling you, it is overpowered. So it is exciting to think about how crazy this can get when the time comes, and when we all basically have our max level builds. Okay, and it's a fun time, and there's tons of stuff to get into when it comes to this game. But I'm super excited to continue to share this with you guys. And don't get it twisted, my channel doesn't pull the clickbait stuff. We're not going to be posting videos just to kind of pull you in. I want to add value to the community, share my excitement. So sometimes videos are more about the fun that I'm having doing something specific. Other times it's, hey, this is going to help you as a viewer. And the goal is to get to the point on the channel where I'm getting sponsorships and partnerships and not having to put any ads, not having to put, and this video is not going to have any ads on it, by the way. If there is an ad, it's straight from YouTube, and they have to stop doing that. But they have to pay their bills. I get it. And hopefully this video can get some numbers. If you want to hit a like right now for getting excited with me. I'm unable to showcase the things I'm talking about specifically. Like I said, I'm not going to break the NDA type of thing here for the channel. But once we get that big and we're going crazy, there's no ads at all. We're going to just share our excitement, and I'll have a full team working, editing and doing all the good stuff and things like that to make this even more special. All right. So that's that when it comes to some of the core essence of the game that I want to kind of just briefly touch on in general. And the next thing that I want to discuss, and it's an important one, is the gameplay. All right, what should you expect from this game? What are you getting out of it? Is it worth it to buy it for you? And this is probably the reason you clicked on this video. Here's the thing, you know, not every game is for everybody, right? Open world games isn't for everybody. I'm sorry. I know I'm a big fan of it. Other people dislike open world games. They want to just play a linear game that they get a story and they go through whatever level without having to think, and they can just like a hallway mission and just continuing down the hallway in the linear games. And I love those games too. Okay, my favorite series is Metal Gear. It's always been linear except for the most recent one. Okay, so 8 games of linear and then 1 open world, and that's my favorite series. But open world games are spectacular, and I do believe that this is going to be a fun game. If I wasn't an Assassin's Creed fan and this was my first open world game and it was my first experience, I would be satisfied, because I believe that there's so much content and context in this game within the universe. Okay, if you're like me, you know about Japan and you know everything that's happened. You're such a big fan, and you're into the history because of all the cool movies you watched. It was Bruce Lee who brought me into films, and he basically made me want to learn martial arts. He made me want to learn about all of the ancient times from different cultures, with the Chinese, Japanese, and all of the amazing stuff when it comes to combat. And props to him, but it was the samurai world that really changed me into want to live a life of honor and trying to be better and grow. And so learning the culture and then seeing this game dive deep into it, of course it's a fantasy game, but also take you to that next level of wow, like this politics and the fight for power and the infrastructures that they were making and how other countries were trying to invade and take control of Japan while they were fighting with amongst each other to have the power, and the oppression that was happening for the poor people, and then the also just in general bullying of different factions that really existed, and they put it into the game, and all of the amazing different elements about becoming a samurai and then also the shinobi. These things are very, very immersive and just keep you locked in for this open world. And as you traverse, yes, it might not be for the original Assassin's Creed players who are like me. They want the parkour the way I want it, who want specific things the way they want it, and might get upset that, hey, it doesn't have the parkour the way I prefer. You know, parkour movement and parkour level design are two different things. So being able to traverse on roofs and do all this extra stuff, that's level design. And then there's parkour, the actual overall movement. And that's something that this game also does decent when it comes to story design and missions. But open world areas don't have the sense of fun that some of the older games design did, where you would have to back eject and side eject a lot and do different tricks, and it's not as crazy as it was in the past. And that's fine. But like I said, if I'm new to the game and I'm just here to play an experience, I'm going to have a blast with this Japan storyline that's pretty enticing. And when you're looking at the GOAT Yasuke, I love this guy. I need a trilogy, and I'm going over the board to. I don't want to spoil my review, but I want a trilogy so bad for these two characters more than anything. And I don't know if Ubisoft is going to do that. They have other games in line, and that's fine. But no, please give me part 2, Shadows 2. 2 Shadows, call it, okay? Assassin's Creed 2 Shadows, okay? Or Shadows 2. Anything you want to call it. Give me the trilogy and we're good. Because the storyline is really spectacular. And, you know, I'm a traditionalist. I prefer Assassins versus Templars. I don't like these games in recent years where you're not even playing an assassin. And this game, of course, Yasuke is not an assassin and all that. But the point is, there's a great story there for them. And it's fun to explore this universe deeper and to go into these two characters personally and experience that. So for me, it is a must. And that's just me. Apologies. All right, I'm going to keep ranting here. We're going to be here all night. But that's something to think about and to feel like, hey, okay, I get where he's coming from. I see where he's at. He likes some of the story. He likes the universe big time. The whole open world was amazing. If you're into the open world aspect, stealth wise, there's castles where you can do amazing stealth with NAOE, or you can really challenge yourself with Yasuke and try to figure out how to stealth through a whole area without getting caught, which is fun. It's actually fun. I was like, wow, I'm supposedly an expert here and I'm playing like a rookie. Let me figure this out. And then I mastered it, had a good time with it. And then, of course, hacking and slashing was also fun. And so overall, the gameplay feels really good. The universe is immersive, and I'm ready for this game to release. I cannot drop any of my videos until later next week. And if you're watching this after release, listen, man, I have probably over 70 videos ready to go. I'm not going to drop them all in a day, but I am going to drop a lot as we go and the game releases. So be ready for that. And I'm super excited. And I'm going to be covering more even after release, because I'm sure they're going to announce more content, and I'm going to offer what I can for you guys as we go forward. You know, nothing is promised. Nothing is permitted, as they say. You know, we'll see how far along this game gets. And I'm excited to share my time with you guys. Now, Before I end this, I just want to say thank y'all so much for hanging out. I would love for you to leave a like and a comment to help build the algorithm to get me ready for release. I'm being very careful about what I say and what I drop. I don't want to put any content out that isn't already out there. Okay. But my words are all new information and excitement about my personal take on why I'm excited for this game and why you should be excited. If you're a fan of the series, there's good things here. And then if you're new, you can also enjoy it. Now, again, my review's coming out right when the game drops, maybe a couple days early. On the 18th, you can expect a lot from me. And from then on, I'll continue to drop a lot of content for you guys. So leave a comment, have a chance to win. I didn't want to leave this until the very end. If you have a chance to win a copy of this game, if you leave a comment on my videos, it doesn't matter which video it is, I'm going to do random selections using something on when I'm on a stream. I showcase who's the winner and pick them live so people can see that it's randomized and selected by the, giveaway winners. All right. That being said, thank y'all so much. Hope this was exciting and interesting for you guys. And I'm going to see you on the next one. Video should be popping up. All right, y'all, but stay safe out there. Stay blessed. Peace.